The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. Nothing is as it seems, but something is everything it is made out to be.
The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive.
The more ways you can tell a story and paint a picture, the better it is. Good ideas stay with you until you eventually write the story. You only have to do a very few things right in your life, so long as you don't do too many things wrong.
Make your lives a masterpiece. You only get one canvas.
Truth is naturally universal, and shines into many different windows, though many are clouded. You're always going to have people who aren't happy for your success, but only you control how you respond to it. We have no right to just stand by and watch them tarnish our tomorrow. The more you are interested in others, the more interesting they find you. Be interesting, be interested.
Life is not measured by what you have. It's measured by what you give. People who keep stiff upper lips find that it's damn hard to smile. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
Comfort is no test of truth. Truth is often far from being comfortable. Focus on your goals, not your fear. Focus like a laser beam on your goals. Bad men rule by the feebleness of the ruled, and this is just. The triumph of weaklings would not be just.
Between living and dreaming, there is a third thing. Guess it. Hence the saying, the enlightened ruler lays his plans well ahead. The good general cultivates his resources.
Learn to live deeply and realize that all experiences, good or bad, are transient and opportunities for liberation. Small shifts in your thinking and small changes in your energy can lead to massive alterations of your end result. Don't let your luggage define your travels. Each life unravels differently.
I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Maybe other people will try to limit me, but I don't limit myself. Only those people create history who doesn't live in the future.
A loving soul was always more beautiful over the long haul, but actual prettiness was fleeting. The past is apparition. The future, a shifting illusion. Time is a trick. This moment is all there is.
Don't set your goals by what other people deem important.
Know that bad character and attitude can block people from seeing the skill, talent, or potential you have. What makes Earth feel like hell is our expectation that it should feel like heaven. I think that you've got to make something that pleases you and hope that other people feel the same way. When you stop chasing the wrong things, the right ones catch up.
Power is not revealed by striking hard or often, but by striking true.
If you can't feel gratitude when you are in need, the feeling of the need would never leave you, even if it is fulfilled. You owe no one explanation of why you do what you do, especially those who ask not to help, to judge you. The strong man is not one who is good at wrestling, but the strong man is one who controls himself in a fit of rage. Never let doubt guide your life's compass, as shadows fade once hope is found. Things come apart so easily when they have been held together with lies. All you know is what you think you know, but that isn't always what's real. Intelligence alone is not nearly enough when it comes to acting wisely. In this lifetime we meet and part like passing clouds. Gotta get out of the basement. I've got to see the world. I've got to make a difference.
At times, even a 90% compatibility rate ends in a breakup. Oh, darling, don't be bitter. It's the first instinct of the weak.
Be a life long or short, its completeness depends on what it was lived. On the whole, human beings want to be good, but not too good, and not quite all the time. Humor is what happens when we're told the truth quicker and more directly than we're used to. The true hypocrite is the one who ceases to perceive his deception, the one who lies with sincerity. Ruin is a gift. Ruin is the road to transformation. My power is my property. My power gives me property. My power am I myself, and through it am I my property. Flexibility makes buildings to be stronger. Imagine what it can do to your soul. Understanding is a three-edged sword. Your side, their side, and the truth. Human life is but a series of footnotes to a vast, obscure, unfinished masterpiece.
Vulnerability is the least celebrated emotion in our society. In my heart's most secret place, I pity them as angels do.
Anger exceeding limits causes fear, and excessive kindness eliminates respect. Though all men be equally frail before the world, the differences between them are terrifying. Somebody once said, if it's something a single book can explain, it's not worth having explained.
What cannot be said, above all, must not be silenced, but written. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened.
Sometimes wisdom came from strange places, even from giant teenage goldfish.
When we're connected to others, we become better people.
Just remember, the difference between being good versus being great is just a few points, inches, or seconds. If time is precious, no book that will not improve by repeated readings deserves to be read at all.
Man in general, if reduced to himself, is too wicked to be free.
How many things would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? The trouble with denial is that when the truth comes, you aren't ready. There is a wisdom of the head, and there is a wisdom of the heart. Respect other people's feelings. It might mean nothing to you, but it could mean everything to them.
Words offer meaning. When you've got the meaning, you can forget the words.
Thou shalt not be a victim, thou shalt not be a perpetrator, but above all, thou shalt not be a bystander.
All I do is lie, and that has made me immune to compliments.
You've never lived what you are thinking, and that isn't good. Only the ideas we actually live are of any value.
There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare.
No man can be a failure if he thinks he's a success. If he thinks he is a winner, then he is. You can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water.
Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Hold yourself back, or heal yourself back together. You decide.
Time deals gently only with those who take it gently. Luck is a word used to describe the success of people you don't like. A faith that cannot survive collision with the truth is not worth many regrets. The essence of life does not consist in the lushness of your possession, but in the richness of your heart. I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to start this day, because then I'll just be expected to finish it.
Life provides chances to open your heart all the time.
People have boldness to criticize, but not to sensitize.
When inequality takes root, a garden of problems flourishes.
The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Who we are in the present includes who we were in the past.
Any intelligent fool can make things bigger and more complex. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction.
Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Some want to live within the sound of church or chapel bell. I want to run a rescue shop within a yard of hell. There is no sickness worse for me than words that to be kind must lie.
Everybody stay positive, no matter how negative life gets.
Atticus, he was real nice. Most people are, Scout, when you finally see them.
The essence of knowledge is having it to use it.
Don't wake me for the end of the world unless it has very good special effects. Truth strikes us from behind and in the dark, as well as from before and in broad daylight.
Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable.
If life throws you a few bad notes or vibrations, don't let them interrupt or alter your song. The world is before you, and you need not take it or leave it as it was when you came in. Life's greatest gift is the freedom it leaves you to step out of it whenever you choose.
People, in general, would rather die than forgive. It's that hard.
Receiving is good, but giving is much better. Nevertheless, sharing is the best. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten.
Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself.
If you care about what you do and work hard at it, there isn't anything you can't do if you want to. You are at your strongest when you are calm. All people know the same truth. Our lives consist of how we choose to distort it. You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can always choose how you respond to it. Quietly endure, silently suffer, and patiently wait.
Your highest thoughts sometimes arise in your lowest moments. Be not afraid of going slowly. Be afraid only of standing still.
The reason birds can fly and we can't is simply because they have perfect faith. For to have faith is to have wings. Successful people don't have fewer problems. They have determined that nothing will stop them from going forward.
The search for truth is more precious than its possession. If quick, I survive. If not quick, I am lost. This is death.
If there is any truth in the world, it lies when I'm with you.
Light in your mind is better than darkness in your soul. You like me not because I like you. I like you just because I like me.
I never want to change so much that people can't recognize me.
I'm glad I see with my eyes and not the pages I've read.
Choose your steps wisely, because your footprints may be followed by others.
All things one has forgotten. Scream for help in dreams.
I never ask a man what his business is, for it never interests me. What I ask him about are his thoughts and dreams. Our business in life is not to succeed, but to continue to fail in good spirit. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. All human beings should try to learn before they die what they are running from, and to, and why.
I admire those who do good and expect nothing in return.
I can't seem to be a pessimist long enough to overlook the possibility of things being overwhelmingly good.
Feeling guilty does not set us free. Being equipped sets us free.
You can believe in whatsoever you like, but the truth remains the truth, no matter how sweet the lie may taste.
If a man takes no thought about what is distant, he will find sorrow near at hand.
Don't be afraid to be afraid. Have fear, and then conquer the shit out of it. Don't tell me about your God with your words. Show me about your God with your actions. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. Sometimes success isn't about making the right decision, it's more about making some decision. In all debates, let truth be thy aim, not victory or an unjust interest. The fundamental things in a man are not the things he explains, but rather the things he forgets to explain. Those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it.
That knowledge which stops at what it does not know is the highest knowledge.
Some concepts are so incredibly risky they take an honest fool to try to articulate them.
I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university.
There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. Life is much more successfully looked at from a single window. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. 10 years from now, make sure you can say that you chose your life, you didn't settle for it. One is not struck by the truth until prompted quite accidentally by some external event.
Failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. Because people don't have wings, we look for ways to fly.
People will not remember what you did for living. They will remember how you touched them with kindness and loving. One of the most healing things you can do is recognize where in your life you are your own poison. Read books, care about things, get excited, try not to be too down on yourself. Enjoy the ever-present game of knowing. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. Sharing tales of those we've lost is how we keep from really losing them. When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. You cannot change your future. You can change your habits. And surely your habits will change your future. We have all been through something. It's how you create something out of it that matters. It is not a daily increase, but a daily decrease. Hack away at the inessentials.
We need to renew ourselves often. Even temples need renovation.
Just because people run after you doesn't mean they can't stay away from you. Don't take anyone for granted.
Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. To bear and not to own, to act and not lay claim, to do the work and let it go, for just letting it go is what makes it stay. Once you bid farewell to discipline, you say goodbye to success. The language of light can only be decoded by the heart. Truth that came too late was as useful as a meal to a dead man.
When we venture in that unfamiliar sea, we trust blindly in those who guide us, believing that they know more than we do. Playing it safe is the most dangerous thing you can do in life. Night is a time of rigor, but also of mercy. There are truths which one can see only when it's dark.
Not every instance requires a response. Truth resides silently in the seat of power. If you follow the enemy's shifts and changes, you can always find a way to win.
We dance round in a ring and suppose, but the secret sits in the middle and knows. The truth that makes men free is for the most part the truth which men prefer not to hear.
Do no harm, and leave the world a better place than you found it.
It is easy to be conspicuously compassionate if others are being forced to pay the cost. Life is short. Focus on what really matters most. You have to change your priorities over time. We hunt the flame, the light in the darkness, the good this world deserves.
Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year.
This is how you start to get respect, by offering something that you have.
Begin by seizing something which your opponent holds dear. Then he will be amenable to your will. Set the troops to their tasks without imparting your designs.
Allow yourself to be a beginner. No one starts off being excellent.
Positive expectations are the mark of the superior personality. Anything not worth doing is worth not doing well. Think about it.
One morning, you wake up with more life behind you than in front of you, not being able to understand how it's happened. After all, a homeless man has reason to cry. Everything in the world is pointed against him. Aim for the moon. If you miss, you may hit a star. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Life is too short to waste your time on people who don't respect, appreciate, and value you. Work for a cause, not for a clause. Live life to express, not to impress. All progress takes place outside of your comfort zone.
Your life is a reflection of your thoughts. Think well.
I am always doing what I cannot do yet, in order to learn how to do it. I am certain of nothing but the holiness of the heart's affections and the truth of the imagination. This, the language of deception, we both understand. We were born to it, along with the curses. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of us, but those who fight battles we know nothing about. Don't always wish to be like others. Always aspire to be better than them. You can't do anything about the length of your life. You can do something about its width and depth.
Sometimes the grass is greener. Sometimes it is sick. Pretend inferiority and encourage his arrogance. We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown.
I want to dream a dream so wonderful that I'll wake up sorry that it wasn't a memory. The average passenger eats enough calories to keep them weight gain a year old for a week and a half.
Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous.
Action springs not from thought, but from a readiness for responsibility. Life belongs to the living, and he who lives must be prepared for changes.
When you take control of your attitude, you take control of your life. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better.
People can cry much easier than they can change. When you think you're right, you're most likely wrong. Great achievement is usually born of great sacrifice and is never the result of selfishness. In life, you need either inspiration or desperation.
If the enemy has occupied them before you, do not follow him, but retreat and try to entice him away.
You don't have to eat less, you just have to eat right. When I was born, the doctor slit my throat to see if I could talk. There can be glory in failure and despair in success. Live life as though nobody is watching, and express yourself as though everyone is listening.
Despite the heart-numbing frost, my soul is blooming like spring.
Humility is nothing but truth, and pride is nothing but lying. Having perfected our disguise, we spend our lives searching for someone we don't fool. We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. If it's going to be a world with no time for sentiment, it's not a world that I want to live in. Your emotions are the slaves to your thoughts, and you are the slave to your emotion.
A frog in a well cannot conceive of the ocean.
Every luxury must be paid for, and everything is a luxury, starting with being in this world.
Lower your expectations, but never lower your standards. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself.
Deeply respecting yourself is the first step toward having a deep respect for others.
There's nothing you can't do if you want it bad enough.
There are many rivers that we cross in our lifetime. Unfortunately, some of those rivers just don't have bridges.
If you don't take risks, you will always work for someone who does. Some people could look at a mud puddle and see an ocean with ships.
For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them.
The only way you can know where the line is if you cross it. No one else has ever opened doors for me. I opened them myself.
The worst thing you can do if you miss or need someone is let them know it. Life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. On marriage, you sort of stumble along and reconnect and lose each other and reconnect again.
No one dies of fatal truths nowadays. There are too many antidotes.
Life is a blank canvas, and you need to throw all the paint on it you can. It's easy to talk big, but the important thing is whether or not you clean up the shit. Life is pain, Highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. You have been blessed with immeasurable power to make positive changes in your life. I wake up and grind like the whole world owes me money. I'm taking that money like I'm owed.
If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants.
Your future needs you, your past doesn't. The mind is everything, what you think you become. Your body is the church where nature asks to be reverenced.
Not knowing you can't do something is sometimes all it takes to do it.
What I'm looking for is not out there, it is in me.
Truth is as straight as an arrow, while a lie swivels like a snake.
It doesn't matter how far it is for you to reach your goal. What matters is your aim to succeed. Embrace being perfectly imperfect. Learn from your mistakes and forgive yourself. You'll be happier.
Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them.
I made up my mind not to care so much about the destination, and simply enjoy the journey.
Sing your life. Any fool can think of words that rhyme. Be like seeds. Do not see dirt thrown at you as your enemy, but as ground to grow. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest.
You may choose to look the other way, but you can never say again that you did not know. The place where you made your stand never mattered, only that you were there and still on your feet. Focus on improving yourself, not proving yourself.
Distance sometimes lets you know who is worth keeping and who is worth letting go.
You need to find a way to live your life that it doesn't make a mockery of your values.
In my deepest wound, I saw your glory, and it dazzled me.
He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight.
Without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible. Never curse a fall. The ground is where humility lives. The men of old breathed clear down to their heels. People throw stones at you, and you convert them into milestones. Life is an essay you yourself have to write, start to finish.
Religious structure often dilutes the spiritual experience.
Thoughts become things. If you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hand.
Find the things that matter and hold on to them and fight for them and refuse to let them go. Subjectivity is strange to science, while relativity is an objective part of it.
To go outside what your charge was and to try to solve everything yourself is dangerous.
It is not a failure to readjust my sails to fit the waters I find myself in.